Hi and welcome to the first episode of Commodore Classics. This time I will be looking at the horizontal shoot 'em up Dragon Breed. This is the second time I've recorded this audio, as the first time I didn't have a proper microphone or anything, and it sounded really awful, so apologies for that, but it should sound much better now that I've got a half decent mic. Let's get stuck into taking a look at this game then. The cool thing about it, as you can see, is that you control a little chap riding on a dragon, which is really quite big for Commodore 64 sprites, and it's actually constructed of several sprites all linked together, which is what causes the rather unsightly sprite flicker. That's tricky to say. My memories of this game didn't include the sprite flicker, so I was surprised to see just how much sort of rose-tinted specs deleted that from what I recall of the game. This is stage 1, about halfway through now, and that's a huge kind of crabby thing with gun emplacements on it. And you can see I'm using one of the power-ups, which is the orange power-up, in my opinion the most useful in the game, and you can use that to curl around your rider and protect him. And now for this boss, I believe I've switched back to the red power-up, which is quite powerful. It's a sort of standard dragony flame blast. Yeah, it's fully leveled up. I believe you pick up 4 power-ups to get it to its fully leveled up state, and then you have to fight this sort of ugly looking abomination thing at the end of the level, avoiding the sort of home seeking babies that it spews out every so often. I managed to get past it this time unscathed, although I did lose a life earlier in the level, unfortunately. That's one of the things. I did get good enough back in the day to be able to complete this game many times, because it was one of my favourite games, so I would come back to it regularly. Although my skill at it has deteriorated somewhat over the years, and I'm now only able to get to stage 3, so that's unfortunately the most I'll be able to show you of the game in this video. This is stage 2, yeah, that's the opening stage of the game, where those black things swarm at you and come straight for your rider. They can be quite annoying. And then you come to these sort of purple villi things that slow you down, so you need to curl up as much as you can there and use your tail to shield you from those insects as you go through that bit. And we'll be coming up to the second boss soon. I've got the silver power up now, which is heat-seeking rockets. And I lost several lives on this boss on this attempt, so as you can see I'm down to my final life, although I do manage to kill it this time. Although, not to fear, I did restart after running out of lives completely, so that I could record some more of the game. That's it, at the end of stage 2. While it's totaling out the points, you can dance about with your dragon, which is always good fun. And now we're on to stage 3, which is slightly reminiscent of the sort of classic Dreadnought stage from R-Type. It is another game by IRM, so similarities will ensue. Again, using the orange power-up to get rid of the gun emplacements and protect my rider. One of the best things about this game that I haven't mentioned so far is the soundtrack by Martin Walker, who was most well known to me for doing the music for various Thalamus games. I hadn't realised he was the one who had done the soundtrack for Dragon Breed, but it's very good indeed, and faithful to the coin-op original, and in my opinion even better, because the unique sound of the SID chip lends it a certain je ne sais quoi, or however you pronounce that French bollocks. So we're coming up to what can be a tricky bit of stage 3, which is a vertical wall made up of one of these dragon things' necks, and in order to deal with it you have to shoot all of the tubes that are spewing out these enemies and destroy them all before your rider gets to the wall, or you will die. Or you, as you can see there, if you get a enemy to the head, you also die. I'm going to lose at least one more life here, and then shortly after this it will be on to the third stage boss, although you won't see much of him because I lose my final life very quickly indeed. And after that it will be take us to the end of the video. So I'll be back again with another one of these videos pretty soon. My plan is to film one which is a trio of random games. I have already picked those out with the help of random.org and a list of all the C64 games that came out, so I shall spend some time playing those, probably over the weekend, and once I've acquainted myself with those games I shall record some footage, and we'll take a look at those three, and then following on from that my intention is to take a look at a classic Zap 64 cover tape, because it was always one of the highlights of the month, getting the new issue of the mag and taking a look at what was on there. So all that remains for me to say now is if you like this video, stay tuned for future editions, and make sure you subscribe to be updated, and you can also read a written companion article on my blog at www.retromoderngames.blogspot.com, and find loads of other gaming articles that I've written over the last 10 years.